You will fail an unhealthy amount of times trying to be disciplined if you do not know this truth. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to this YouTube channel. My name is Daniel Kremer, and I'm a broke student turned entrepreneur. For the past couple of years, I've gone from being broke as a student studying engineering to running a business and making over a 1 million naira in revenue in 1 year. So, in this video, I'll be opening up your eyes the reality of what it is when a person decides to start being disciplined from being lazy about something, being lazy about a goal in their life. For the longest of times, I've been meaning to start an online business. I did a business, physical business, it was well all right while I was in school, and I was able to start it from zero and run it up to a 1 million naira worth of revenue. But after finishing school and everything, while I still opened up a new physical business, I decided I was going to stop procrastinating on the digital business and digital presence I wanted to build. Decided that I was going to be disciplined and start my online brand building and business. And this is how it went. I hate how gurus scream consistency, discipline is all you need, and everything will be fine without actually telling you how to go about it. And one of the first things I want to talk about is the real approach of discipline. The truth I realize is that no matter how good you are, nobody can be disciplined overnight. You cannot just listen to a motivational quote and tomorrow you are disciplined, tomorrow you're smashing goals. It took time for you to grow that lazy, so it's going to take time for you to get your ass together. And this is what the gurus don't tell you. They make it seem like once you listen to that, get that pump of dopamine, and you set goals, you write on a piece of paper, the next day your life is going to transform overnight and you're going to be a totally different person, which is so false. And it gives people a sense of guilt when they wake up the next day and they find out that they are lacking from the goals that they set from themselves. They see that they are not as disciplined, and it becomes very frustrating when people are trying their best to be disciplined and they honestly just cannot do those things that they set. The problem is that you don't have a discipline issue, you have a habit issue. The truth of the matter is, I realize that you are honestly a very, very consistent person. Even the lazy version of you is a consistent person because you have consistently been doing the wrong things for a long period of time. You have built a discipline muscle, you built a consistency muscle doing the wrong things. So you're not all that bad. It's just that you have been doing the wrong things. So now what you need to do is to build a consistency muscle for you to achieve the discipline that the $1 million worth version of you has. You need to build a discipline muscle, a consistency muscle in the right skills, the right habits, the right way to speak that will draw you closer to achieving your goals. Let me tell you why you can do it, because you've already done the opposite. All you need to do is just flip your switch, right? And while you're about that, you have to realize that it's not going to happen overnight, right? It took you time to build the lazy muscle. You were consistently doom scrolling, you were consistently eating junk, you're consistently not going to the gym, you're consistently being procrastinating, you're consistently giving yourself bad pep talk. So all that has been fabricated into you, all that has made you the person that you are. And it did not just start today, right? So it cannot just change overnight. So give yourself some grace. Understand that there is really a gap between the version that you are today and the version of yourself that you want to be, right? And what that's going to take is you consistently changing the habits that make you lazy and leaning into the habits that take you to your next level, even if they are hard. Because in the grand scheme of things, what does it mean to be disciplined? Being disciplined is doing something even when you don't feel like doing it, because you know that it's going to produce something good for you, right? That's what discipline means. That's what discipline is. Discipline is the ability to constantly do it when you don't feel like it, because you know it's going to teach, it's going to be good for your future. It's going to profit you. That is what you're trying to achieve. And when you have that in your mind and you embark on the journey of being disciplined and you fail on your first couple attempts, with this mindset that knowing already that you're going to fail, unlike the gurus that just make you feel like tomorrow everything is going to change, when you approach it with this knowledge that yes, you're going to fail because you have actually there's actually the level that you are is the person that is lazy, and the small small effort you are putting and failing is changing you. When you have that in your mind, you don't quit early, you don't get frustrated early. Frustration reduces because you know that okay, this is the journey that it takes. When you fail the first couple of times you try to be disciplined, what you need to do, instead of getting frustrated, you need to analyze what was the thing that I did that led me to this place, and then go back to your battle plan, attack the vision again, attack being disciplined again. And when you keep doing that, you keep editing, you're literally editing the version of yourself. So by the time you fail, you analyze yourself. Okay, what part of me made me fail? Oh, my leg. That lousy leg of mine made me fail. Oh, my mouth. That lousy mouth of mine made me fail. By the time you attack the journey again, you know that there's that boss of your mouth. So by the time you get to that point, you already know that you need to shut your mouth and then move on. But with that understanding, I believe that with this mindset and approach to discipline, when you start your journey, you are going to go half farther and you will not quit as much because you already know it's going to be a tough one. But the promise is, like me, after a couple of failures and my determination not to quit and peculiar experience, my peculiar situation, I was able to draft out what I need to do and how I need to do it, and a timeline that realistically would take me to achieve my goals of being a disciplined millionaire online. Because yeah, offline, I don't think there's a problem there. But yeah, to make a brand and or do other goals I set out to do. So without further ado, let us let me now give you the secrets of this my 1 year battle, 1 year journey of discipline that I failed terribly at, and the lessons that I learned that you need to learn and you need to avoid, right? The bosses that I met that beat the hell out of me and defeated me, but I still discovered them. I was still able to overcome them. I was still able to get a couple of results out of my journey. And I want to share that with you so that you can take that into your 2026. You can take that into your new year and run with it with your new goals that you've set for yourself. Now, when you decide that yes, you want to become disciplined, this is the first thing that is going to come as a boss to deal with you and turn you back into that lazy person that you were, that you hate so much, that lazy person that is broke, that you're not proud of. This is the first boss that you're going to meet, and it's called perfectionism. I call it perfectionism, right? This is wanting everything to be perfect before you start, right? And when I say this, I know that you can relate because it has happened to you before. Oh, you want to start, okay, maybe you want to start creating content. You were like, my phone sucks, the camera sucks, so I can't start. And because of that, you just lay and procrastinate more. Or you're like, I recorded this video, but it's not the right angle I want. Oh, I want to write, but this is not the right pen. I need this kind of pen to write, and all those kind of things that you mean, like it's not perfect yet, so I can't start. But that thing kills your momentum. So what you need to do, what I did, simple, just start. There's this popular phrase going around online. Create it first, perfect it later. That's really what you need to do. Nobody created the world and made it perfect. Nobody created anything and it was perfect. Your smartphone you're using today was once a big box of rubbish, but now look at how it is, and it's still even going to get better. So that's exactly how you need to approach your goals, your life, your product, whatever you're doing. You need to just start. So now when you write out that list of goals and you're breaking it down, now that same day that you do it, determine what the smallest thing that you can do in order for you to achieve your goal. Right? For example, I want to go to the church. I want to go to see a friend. What is the smallest thing? And I've been procrastinating it for a while. What is the smallest thing I can do in order to achieve my goal? The smallest thing I can do today is pick up my phone and text my friend that, oh, I want to come and see you tomorrow. Are you available? Now, doing that gives me a bit of momentum, right? You want to write a book. What's the smallest thing that you can do is maybe going to buy a book that you are going to write on, right? If you go and buy a book that you're going to write on, at least you know that yes, this book is there, so it's there for me to write. Then forget about any other thing for tomorrow. Leave the rest things for tomorrow, right? You can write down a couple other things that you can do, but for that same day you start, determine that same day the smallest thing that you can do that can pull you a tad bit closer to your goal. And that's how you solve perfectionism. That's how you start, right? Now, the second boss that you're going to meet is what I call procrastination. Oh my god, I hate this one so much because it is such a killer. I mean, procrastination dealt with me. I had procrastinated, FYI, I had procrastinated building an online presence, creating content, doing my online business for maybe 3 years now. And all it needed for me to do is take up my phone, make a video, and post. Something I could have done in 3 minutes. I took 3 years thinking about doing it. Imagine where I'd have been now, right? So, what is procrastination? Procrastination is basically, in my own terms, leaving what you can do, saying, "Oh, I'm going to do this later," something that you can do today, setting for later something you can do today, right? And why do you do that? You do that because you think of the whole goal, you think of the goal as a whole, and the weight of what it will take to achieve that goal. That's how you view it as. You've not broken down your goal down to the smallest bit, right? You've not broken it down enough. You're seeing it as such a huge task, right? And because of that, your brain is like your brain doesn't want to take that stress. But what you need to do, first thing you need to do, you need to, any goal that you have, you need to break it down to the smallest bit, right? What is the first thing I need to do? If I want to take a shower, what do I need to do? Maybe I just need to undress. And when you undress, okay, what's the next thing? Maybe just walk to the toilet. When you walk to the toilet, okay, let's turn on the water. Okay, when you turn on the water, okay, let's I don't want this water to touch me. Okay, let it just touch my leg. And when it touches your leg, oh, let me touch my belly. And before you know, you've had your bath. But then when you stay and start thinking, oh my god, I need to take a bath. I don't want water to touch me right now. I just don't want that all that to happen. You will not have your bath and you end up stinking, smelling. So that's how you do it. That's the first thing that you need to do about procrastination. Now, when you do all that, now the next boss that attacks your discipline, when you've been able to beat perfectionism and you now have motion going on, you've been able to defeat procrastination. The next thing you need to deal with, the next boss that's going to come your way is called time management. Oof, this one wounded me. So to give you a picture, last year, while I said I was not going to procrastinate anymore, even if I was going to do the list, I was going to still do my online brand, create content, and yada yada yada. My main goal, my main project for the year was building a bigger physical business that I'd invested a lot of resources into. So by the time I was creating content, the business itself took a lot of time from me, and a lot of things were distracting me. I learned how to manage my time better from this video on Trident Calendar by Ali Abdal, where you make a yearly calendar, a weekly calendar, and a daily calendar. What does that help you do? It helps you know what you to expect and what to dissolve, right? This is what I'm going to do so time. This is what my day should look like. This is what my week should look like. And this is what my year should look like. I should have achieved this, and make it a bit flexible for in case of the chaos of life that always happens. That's basically schedule. Another thing you can do is time block. While you set up a schedule and everything and it's going well, the final boss that is going to come and attack your discipline is called distractions. And when I mean distractions, I don't mean noise. I mean a lot of things that want to take you away from that goal, but they seem valid. For me, a distraction is anything that does not drive me towards the goal I'm headed for. It might not be something negative, but as far as it's pulling me away from my goal, it's a distraction. While you have time block, you scheduled a lot of things. You open your phone, there are notifications and things, and people texting you, people calling you, people want to see you. These are the new business opportunities that look so juicy for you to attack all those things. While I had done all these things, defeated perfectionism, procrastination, time management. Now I had a schedule. I was trying to attack my schedule, and a lot of things started demanding my attention. A lot of things started trying to drag me away from my goals. How did I deal with that? First thing I did, I first recognized that anything that is not content creation, is not a digital marketing business I wanted to do, or is not my business, is a distraction. And how was I able to do that? I first of all time blocked. Time blocking is setting aside a time frame by which you would do a certain task, and that task alone. Mind you, if you want to achieve your goals, you want to be disciplined, you need ferocious focus, like laser focus on that thing and that thing alone. Steve Jobs will say, signal, feed the signal, throw away the noise, right? A lot of noise will come your way, but you need to follow the signal. And how do you do that? When you time block, literally block out every other thing except that thing you set time for. And at once that time is done, no matter how, and I experienced this, no matter how deep in you are in that task and how sweet that thing is going, once that time is up, you need to leave it and move on to the next thing. Else, you would fall back on the workload that you need to do for that day, and at the end of the day, you still be unhappy with yourself. Happened to me a lot of time, right? So once you time block, right, you do your task, you move on to the next. Slowly, 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 you are exercising. Slowly, you're exercising that muscle. Slowly, slowly, you're exercising that muscle. And before you know it, you are disciplined. But it's going to take time, right? Remember, anytime you set a goal to do something, you fail. Go back to the drawing board, go back to the battle plan, and analyze, why did I fail? What made me fail? I'm going to watch out for you next time. You're dangerous. And then you move, right? And that's really how I was able to go from being so lazy about my online business and lazy about even my business. At some point it was getting frustrating, and I wasn't able to think because of a lot of things. But at the end of the day, my physical business was I was able to scale it to a couple of millions in revenue monthly. And for my physical business, that's the digital marketing business I was trying to do, because I spent so much time on my physical business than my online business. I wasn't able to make as much, right? I did not make so much of it. I made a couple thousand, but the goal was to make millions off of it too. But I got an equal amount of the energy I put into the digital business, and I also got equal amount of energy, time, resources I put in the physical business. But now I know how to attack this year better. I know what to do and what not to do, and I thought I should share that. This is free, free bonus. The free bonus I have for you is that if you really want to be disciplined, right? If you know that you are terribly lazy, you are a lazy, ambitious person, you have big goals for yourself, practice intentionally start doing things you hate. That would build up your discipline muscle so much. You'll be so surprised that when you think of something that is supposed to be stressful, the more times you lean into that emotion of stressful, that emotion of I don't want to do this. Oh, you need to bath. And it happened to me. By the time I started being disciplined, it was much easier. By the time I was started doing all these things, it became easier for me to do more, even in my business, to get more things done, time block my business, and I know I get that task done. Things I would procrastinate for months, I'll be able to do it in minutes. You know, I just practice doing the thing I hate. It's crazy. Just do the thing you hate. It's crazy. It works like magic. Just keep doing the things you hate. Keep doing those things that are good for you, but the lazy you doesn't like it. And another bonus I'll say is try God, because he would God in heaven, Jesus Christ, would help you. He will send you resources, guide you, let you know what you're doing wrong that you might not see, and essentially make you grow faster. If you found this video helpful, like and subscribe so that you get more updates. Also, if you've been facing a special type of challenge in your discipline journey, just let me know in the comment section. I would address it in maybe my next video. Because this year you have to achieve those goals, and my guess is you're probably setting those goals wrong over the years. That's why you've not achieved them. So check out this video I made on how to properly set goals in order to achieve them in 2026. See you on the next one.